Hello everybody. So it's once again time for the recap, which will be for September 2023. So the month was super hectic for me in real life, and I've been very busy. However, I'm not gonna go into too much detail about like real life stuff, living situation, and health stuff. So here's a quick summary of that. It's fine. It's let's say it's fine. Let's go. That's all. It's fine. So let's just go on to the more interesting stuff. So, first of all, I would like to highlight a movie that I watched in the very early part of September when I was visiting my friends, and that is Nimona, which is a fantastic little animated movie about. Well, it's based on a web comic kind of thing. A short little comic series, fun little, just like our just comedy comics. I haven't read those, so I have no context for that show. I just knew that, or I looked up the background info about that. However, the movie itself is very self-contained. Like, you don't need any background info for it. And I don't know how, like, it might be just loosely based on it, at least according to the very little research I did on it. So we watched it with my friends, and I must say, I really enjoyed it. It was very fantastic. Now, it is something that is very kid friendly, like something that I would absolutely recommend for younger audiences, even though it has quite a bit of violence to it and a lot of heavy subject matters, shall we say. I still think it's fantastic in every aspect. Like, the story, just in general, is really good. Now, I might make a commentary later on about the movie, even though it's... movies always take a lot of energy out of me. But this, I think, deserves it. Probably. If I have time for it. But yeah. So the story is pretty good, really good, quite good, very good, fitting. Like, it isn't exactly, shall we say, mind-bending in its complexity. Like, there's very few twists in it. And like I have said for a time and time again, you don't need to have, like, mind-bending twists, and if you can see where the story is going, but it still is entertaining, that is a very well told story. Stories don't need to be shocking or surprising or anything like that to hold up. And Nimona really well plays into that by being just very entertaining and having strong characterization, and the animation is wonderfully gorgeous and really expressive. The main character is a fun little gremlin who I just absolutely adored, and there's of course a lot more to the movie. There's a very obvious message in it, which I do really appreciate. It's a really good message, and that's why I think it should be a movie that most, like, younger audiences should watch. It's a movie about accepting yourself and accepting differences and being just, like, more open to different types of people, and just, like, you know, eliminating your prejudices and all stuff. Like, something that's very healthy for not just children, but unfortunately huge amount of adults as well, that they should really learn. But yeah, it's a good movie. I'm not gonna talk too much longer. I could just rant about it, but it's very entertaining, and it's like, I don't often laugh during comedies because, I don't know, I'm just jaded like that. But the Nimona really did make me laugh quite a lot, and just, like, smile. Like, it's very entertaining and it's very amusing. So, like, the jokes are really good. So yeah, it's good. It's really good, and it's actually, well, even though it's not exactly breaking new ground, it still is rather heartwarming in the best kind of ways. Then I would like to highlight a certain manga that I've been reading. I haven't read it completely, but I think I've read far enough. Well, it's not finished yet, so I couldn't read it completely. But I've read more than enough to recommend it. and that is Liar Satsuki can see death, I think is the proper English translation for it. I'll just call it Liar Satsuki. It's really quite an interesting sort of reverse, well, not reverse, like it's an interesting little well, not lighthearted, but like a school-themed mystery in a sort of way, but with like heavy emphasis on drama, and especially like youngster drama and social isolation and stuff like that, and with some really interesting grotesque mystery aspects to it that are done in a very really interesting way, with some really nice supernatural elements thrown in, which I really have enjoyed. The show has really nice characterization and really nice relationships between the characters, which I really do appreciate. And for once, the characters aren't fucking idiots, which, you know, it's always good when the characters are not idiots, so that's really nice. The art style is quite good and lovely looking, and the shall we say, incidents are rather well depicted, and while they don't make the most logical sense, the way that they are often resolved are, and the mystery surrounding why these incidents keep happening is also quite effective. So I've been reading up to chapter 64, which, you know, not completely up to release, but it's enough. So yeah, I'll continue reading it while it's being released. It's really quite enjoyable. So if you want a supernatural, not a thriller, but like supernatural elements and mystery thrown into a like high school drama and just like that kind of stuff, it's quite a unique blend, I must say. While there are some elements which I have seen everywhere, like this specific combination is not, and I really quite have enjoyed reading it. First game that I would like to highlight is a bit of a surprise even for me, because I was not expecting to actually like enjoy the game that much, but it's Holocure. Now, I don't watch streamers that often because time constraints and stuff like that, and I'm not a huge VTuber fan. Now, I do know like couple like Calliope Mori. I sometimes check the videos and a lot of the music often. Actually, well, not that shockingly, I listen to quite a bit of the music and the covers, but that's just, I don't think that's anything that particularly special. But the game itself is just a vampire survivor-like. It's so stupid that that's the genre name. I'd like to call it the twin-stick roguelike arena survival, but that doesn't really roll off the tongue that well. And while the Holocure itself is like a very clear example of how it can be done, and it isn't exactly breaking any new ground, it has some really, like, every game that kinda takes inspiration from the Vampire Survivors just throws in their own special sauce, shall we say, and they make it special in some ways. And I think Holocure, for being free, is really good, like unreal good. It's like so freaking just really fun. Now, I do have played a lot of Vampire Survivors and other games of the genre, and I think, like, for the price of admission, which is free, Holocure is just like the best value for the money. Obviously, free is better than anything expensive, but mostly I want to say that no other game has like done anything that special or that much better than Holocure, so it's really kind of ridiculous. Now, there are some games which have some aspects that are really good, which I would kind of recommend if they are on a huge sale, though I guess I'll have to highlight those later, because I haven't delved deeply enough that I am comfortable highlighting them yet. But yeah, Holocure. Surprisingly good, surprisingly fun, it's free, it has some nice aspects to it, it's enjoyable enough. Now, the second game I would like to highlight is Bread and Fred. I've seen a lot of streamers and YouTubers just playing the game with their friends, which is definitely the way that it is meant to be played now. I didn't actually want to bother my friend to record the background gameplay footage, but there is a single player mode which is annoyingly in some parts a bit harder, like annoyingly harder. Now that's probably because I'm bad, but regardless, it's a fun physics-based, momentum-based platformer, which is a with a really unique twist in the way that the characters, which in single-player mode is a rock tied to your waist, and that is connected to the other character via rope. So you really have to do just swing your way around with into some other platforms and just like keep platforming with momentum, and it's really quite entertaining. The game I have played it quite a bit with, or a little bit with my friend, and it's really good. Like, really pretty fun. Now, with the specific friend I'm talking about, we are on a rather same page, shall we say. Oh, he probably is watching this and knows what I'm talking about. But we can quite easily clear a lot of the problems, and we have we sync up really well. So it isn't exactly the most difficult, but there are certain sections which are, because the momentum, especially swinging momentums, are not exactly something that most minds are most accustomed to, so it is quite difficult to comprehend. So the platforming is a very nice challenge, and of course it is it has aspects of a rage game, so you do fall down really far. Now there are a lot of comedy aspects to it, because you can just, like, when you fall down, you face plant, and your friend can drag you around. It's really fun. It's challenging, but it's not too challenging that it gets annoying. Although, and there are easier things you can place checkpoints in multiplayer and stuff like that, but that's not fun. So it'll be more fun to continue playing it with my friend. But I wanted to specifically highlight the game because it's like something to play with your friends, and it is really quite a unique bonding experience. Actually brings to mind Pico Park, but in a more, shall we say, challenging sense, because Pico Park is mostly meant for huge groups, because that's when it's most fun, and Bread and Fred is specifically with 2 people. So, yeah. The second to last game, the third game I want to highlight, is something that I've been, well, during the months I didn't play that much because of time constraints, but something that I now have been playing, and in the very last parts before like scripting this, I did play a lot more, and it's definitely gonna be something that I'm gonna make a special video for, and that is Astrea Six-Sided Oracles, which is a dice-based deck builder roguelike, and it's very unique. I'm not gonna go too deep into it. Check it out. If you want a roguelike with a very unique twist to it, that is, like, in my opinion, one of the best of the genre, go check it out. But I'm gonna highlight it later on when I make its own specific video. But yeah, in short, it's probably a very good competition. It feels so far to be a very good competition for Slay the Spire. It's really hard to make a roguelike that is better, or that is competing with Slay the Spire, that is a deck-based. But Astrea really pushes close to that limit with its unique mechanics. And it has a lot of really cool stuff to it, which I really would like everybody to check out. So, go and check it out. It's, in my opinion, the best roguelike deck builder around right now, if you don't mind the dice mechanics, or if that is something that even specifically encourages you to check it out. But I'll talk more about it later. And for the pièce de la résistance, I would like to highlight Star Sign. Minor disclaimer, I was given a review code for this, or review key for the game, and I will be doing a proper review for this game, but I wanted to highlight it before that is done, because that's gonna take quite a bit of time. So, Star Sign, it is a really, really lovely momentum-based 3D platformer. And by momentum-based, I mean that you can swing around like Spider-Man, and it's really something special. It feels very fantastic to play with. You're basically having two, or at least so far I have only figured out two of the special mechanics, or the specific mechanics for traversal, which are flinging and swinging, and they interplay fantastically and have, well, you just build up so much speed that it gets hectic, fun, and the platforming is very fun. So it's like, I'm gonna make a specific video for this quite a bit later, but just so you know, it's, if you want something that is fast and that is really not that difficult but really fun, check out Star Sign. It brings to my mind another platformer called Grow Home, which is also like in a similar fashion, but it's far slower and takes a lot more time to finagle around, and you can't exactly fall, you don't have like a stamina meter or anything like that. And Star Sign is more based around just being really fast. So, you know, if you want something that go fast is fun, check out Star Sign, but a review will be coming as soon as possible. And so for the outro. Now, unfortunately, this video did come out a bit later, even though I had everything like scripted out and planned out, but stuff happens. So, you know. Now, I would like to thank you all very much for watching. I will be working really hard to make the Star Sign review come out, hopefully this week, by the time that the game is released, but, you know, stuff happens, and there are things going on, so I have plans, once again, of course, but those, I'm not going to tease too much unless I know that I can get them done. So with that, I thank you all very much for watching. I would love to see you in the next video that I'll make, and have a great day and stay awesome. Gunmo out.